keep going. That's what we need to do.
Another week together, no guarantee. Keep punching him in the face. DeMarcus. Don't get satisfied. Let's go.
The AT&T Stadium crowd is making a lot of noise.
Right now, make him.
I hope for the same thing.
It is a spectacle of this place.
Come on, take the ball away, bitch. Let's go now.
Cowboys on 3. Make it loud. 1, 2, 3.
The Cowboys' win over the Redskins feels more like a loss because their season is over. The Eagles beat the Giants, taking the NFC East title and keeping the Cowboys out of the playoffs. Welcome into Cowboys Flashback. I'm Dani Sureck. This season was full of scrutiny, and head coach Jason Garrett took his fair share of it, not just this year, but for the last decade. In his 9 full seasons as head coach, the Cowboys have finished 8-8 for the 4th time and missed the playoffs for the 6th. Garrett was in a contract year, and the Cowboys chose not to extend him at the start of the season. So if they decide to part ways, it won't technically be a firing of Garrett. Garrett met with the players for one last time this season Monday afternoon, just before his meeting with the Jones family about his future in Dallas. Garrett was understandably emotional in what could be his last press conference as the head coach for the Dallas Cowboys after Sunday's game, and shared what his last message was for the team this season.
Just so proud to be a part of this football team. And again, we talked about standing tall. I had a great high school football coach. The guy's name was Cliff Faust, and kind of a legendary coach in Northeast Ohio. And my senior year, I was playing quarterback. He was more of a defensive guy, but he wanted to coach the quarterback, so he coached me, and he coached me as hard as anybody's ever coached me in my life. And his big thing was, get back, stand tall, stand tall, stand tall. And, at the time, I needed to get away from the line of scrimmage faster and better, and I probably played too low, and he wanted me to stand up a little bit higher. And it wasn't until years later that I realized, what he was talking about when he was saying stand tall through the successes in life, stand tall through the adversities in life. And I got great letters from him over the last 25 years when good things were happening and maybe some challenging things were happening. He always concluded the letter by saying, stand tall, coach. And so I shared that with our guys last night. And you challenge them to stand tall through the successes in life, and stand tall through the adversities. Get your shoulders back, get your eyes forward, and go represent yourself the right way, represent your family the right way, your coaches the right way, your teammates the right way. And God damn it, our guys did that today. So damn proud of being part of this group. I shared that with them. It wasn't easy to get through it. It was emotional. But again, so proud to be a part of this team.
You feel like you have done that for 9 years here?
Done what?
What you just described.
Yeah, I strive to do it every day. Strive to do it every day in my life.
Do you feel like you have more coaching to do in this league?
Oh, absolutely.
How much do you want to be the coach here in 2020?
Yeah, I want to be the coach of the Dallas Cowboys, but we'll see what happens.
Garrett went on 105.3 The Fan Monday morning and said he was going to emphasize his desire to be the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys when he had his meeting Monday afternoon with the Jones family. Garrett was not the only emotional one after Sunday's season finale for the Cowboys. Not only is the season over, but changes are expected around the start, not just with the coaching staff, but also with the players. The Cowboys have a high number of free agents, one of them being quarterback Dak Prescott, who has played his final game in his rookie contract. Don't go anywhere. QB1 at the podium next.
Dallas Cowboys Flashback, presented by Reliant, is brought to you by AT&T. Rico's products make every game a home game with Rico's. Cigna, together all the way. And by Reliant, an NRG company.
The Cowboys have 30 free agents, so their roster will not look the same in 2020. One of those free agents is quarterback Dak Prescott, who finished the season with 4,902 passing yards. That's 1 yard shy of Tony Romo's single-season record. After the game, Prescott said he deserved to finish second to Romo because the Cowboys didn't win. However, Cowboys owner and general manager Jerry Jones says if he could, he would have gone out onto the field and run a route for Prescott so he could beat Romo's record, which says a lot because of how much Jones admires Romo. After the game, Prescott expressed his disappointment in the Cowboys season ending early and what will be his last game with many in that locker room.
Very disappointing. I don't think that's the best word for it, best description for the locker room. You go into that locker room and you see all those men, great teammates, great men, and just to know that it won't be the same. The team won't be the same. It changes. This is the change in every time, and that's something that I'll never get used to as long as I'm in the NFL. And it hurts, but it's what it is.
Can you talk about the emotion in the locker room after the game and Jason Garrett with his status up in the air going into
disappointing? Simple as that. I mean, you get in the locker room right there and you see the love for one another. You see the care. You see the commitment to one another. And that's what's disappointing is you all have to look at one another and say, we gave it our all. We did the best we could. We just didn't get the job done. And that's everybody.
What do you feel like is your greatest regret personally?
I don't know. I mean, that's tough to say right now. It's tough to say just this early. Obviously, got to go back and dissect the whole season, look at it from every view, every perspective, see what I could have done better, this team could have done better. But as a leader of this team, as a quarterback, when you're in a situation like this and you get in that locker room, as a leader, you just feel like you let people down, whether I did or whether they think I did or not. That's how I feel personally, and it's tough. It's disappointing. Some of those guys I'll never get to play with again, and as I said, it's something I'll never get used to.
Do you have any second thoughts about not having the contract done before the season started or anything?
I'm not at all. Never thought about the contract this season and haven't thought about it, and I have a great team and people that will handle that. When those talks come and when that happens, it happens. It'll be a blessing, but that's not why I play this game. I play this game for the love of it. My first love as an individual, and I'm committed to those guys in the locker room, my teammates, and that's what wakes me up every day. That's what gets me going, and that's why I play this game, and I play it with a passion and put so much into it. It has nothing to do with a contract or money, so I'm not thinking of that.
What has Jason Garrett meant to you?
Everything. I mean, he drafted me. He's the reason I'm here. He's a great guy. Respect and love everything that he stands for. The coach he is, the man he is, somebody I look up to, and thankful for his impact.
What point of the game did you know that the Eagles had won, or did you not know till it was over?
I think after the very last drive we had, before we went out there and made victory. That wasn't my focus. I was going to try to control what I could control. I think I looked up one time after half. It was 10-10 on it or whatever. That was the only thing I saw. And then at that point, I leaned over. I think it was to Cooper Rush and asked him. And he said the last time he saw the score, it was pretty much out of hand. And that's when you feel bad after a loss. And that's when it set in.
Prescott got emotional when talking about tight end Jason Witten. Witten came out of his one-year retirement this year and is now unsure about his future. Prescott said playing with Witten has meant everything to him. Prescott grew up watching Witten as a kid and says as a leader, Prescott admires everything about Witten and says he wears the star the right way, something Prescott says he hopes he can do throughout his career. Don't go anywhere. An exclusive interview with the future Hall of Fame tight end Jason Witten next.
This segment was brought to you by AT&T.
For 16 years, tight end Jason Witten has donned the star on his helmet. However, now he could be hanging up his cleats for good. Witten has left a legacy not just with this Cowboys franchise, but with the league as well. In his 16 years in Dallas, Witten was selected to 11 Pro Bowls, has the second most receiving touchdowns in franchise history, and was the 2012 Walter Payton Man of the Year. Quite a list of accolades. A passionate Witten stopped by with Brad Sham and Babe Laufenberg after what could be his last game as a Dallas Cowboy.
I learned a long time ago that when you're around greatness, it's a good idea to take a mental picture of it that you can hold forever because it goes away all too fast. It seems like yesterday that Bill Parcells was yelling in a rookie minicamp at a special teams drill, wanting Jason Witten to block, and then he said, I forgot Witten, you're a receiving tight end, and now here you are taking what looked like a victory lap to say goodbye. Was that what we saw?
I just think you can maybe call it that. I don't know if I want to go there right now, but I just wanted to show my appreciation. You know, these fans have embraced me since day one, and, I'm so disappointed that we won't have an opportunity to compete for a championship because that truly was my motivation every single day that I came into that organization and went to work, and it's why we love this game, because it's hard. And it's so hard to get to the point where you can compete for a championship. So just wanted to share that. I didn't have that moment in 2017 when I retired, and I wanted to recognize all the people that I appreciate. And, this is a tough day.
You ever had a more hollow 47-16 win and walk off the field and you find out Philadelphia had won, and so obviously you're out of the playoffs?
Never experienced anything like it. Really you showed up today and you just felt like, it was going to work out. We had to take care of our business and felt like maybe New York could beat them. And but look, we had opportunities this season and we fell short. And it's a tough day across the board because I think this team was close. But we didn't play well at critical times this season, and I can go back at different points and recognize that. But I wanted to share with those guys. When I came back, it was a huge challenge. I'm proud of the way I played, but more importantly, I'm proud that I was able to kind of be there for those young players who I think have really bright futures that are cornerstone pieces in this organization, and just show them how you do it. And it's a tough game, and you got to be mentally tough. You got to go in there and approach it every day and say, everybody's watching. They're watching what you do every single day. And for all the young kids out there that want to be here one day, just know that it takes a lot of hard work. It takes a lot of determination, and, but it's worth it. This game's been so good to me. I love this game, and it was a heck of a year.
At the end of the radio broadcast, Babe said, what's one Jason Witten moment you'll take with you? I had mine. He had his. Whenever you walk away, what's the first thing that comes to your mind, a moment that's going in your snapshot memory book?
Oh, the start. I think the beginning. Green as I could be, just turned 21 years old, playing for a legendary coach in Bill Parcells, who had a blueprint on what the tight end position looked like, and walking into the Valley Ranch and meeting the Jones family and seeing the legendary figures that, my grandfather talked about, of Tom Landry and Roger Staubach and Michael Irvin, and saying that I'm going to be one of those guys one day. And nobody in hell probably thought that was going to happen, but, to be standing here, and really it's the relationships. Guys like you guys and certainly those teammates that just walked out. It's a small family, and you sacrifice a lot, but this organization is surrounded with really good people. And I think the older you get, you appreciate going to work every day and being around people that are passionate, make others around them better, and are unselfish. And that's something that I appreciate. So 16 years, I don't know if that's going to be the end. I'll take a few days and figure it out. But I think this decision will happen pretty quickly here in the next few weeks.
Very quickly, I know it's fresh for you, but have you decided which one of us is going to give the induction speech for you, Ken? Or you want to take some time on that too?
I think I'm going to take a little time,
okay.
But I really am. Coming back, I'm proud of the way I played. It's a different offense than it was in 2012, and I caught over 100 passes. It's a different system, but I'm really proud, and to have that relationship with those young players that are going to have long, very successful careers because they approach the game the right way and they're talented. To have an impact on them, that's something I'll cherish for a long time. But love this game, and somehow, some way, I feel like I'll stay around it.
Just so you know, it'll be me. It's been an honor.
Thank you, guys. You're the best.
Witten has expressed his desire to coach after playing, so who knows? Maybe we'll see him donning the star for a few more years after all. A disappointing season for the Cowboys, however, some bright spots when looking ahead to the future. Some optimism for Cowboys fans after the break.
Second and goal. Play fake. Looking in the end zone. Looking right. Looking left. Back corner. Gallup. Leaping. Touchdown.
Not one, not two, but 3 touchdowns for wide receiver Michael Gallup in Sunday's game, and his hat trick came all in the second half. Gallup showed impressive growth in year 2, receiving praise from players and coaches alike all season long. He finished this year with more than 1,000 receiving yards and 6 touchdowns. Gallup says the Cowboys did what they had to do on Sunday, controlling what they could, getting the win over Washington. However, that wasn't enough after a year of self-inflicting wounds.
Oh yeah, he made some strides here and there. Had some good games, and you go back to having, a couple bad games. So we need to try to eliminate those bad games as much as possible. But I think I definitely, jumped up a little bit this year.
What was your biggest disappointment, though, about not being able to make it to the playoffs?
biggest disappointment.
Yeah, kind of in the season, not being able to finish where you wanted to.
I mean, if anything, I'm gonna just go back to that Philly game where I dropped the TD. So, you know, I'll hang my head on that one. I already told the team that it was my fault. I apologize, and they obviously all said I was good, but I'll just have to hold that all the way to next year.
I'm just proud of this group of men for how they came out and fought today, how we came out and played and handled all we can handle.
When did you know that Philadelphia had won that game?
I mean, we saw the score in the fourth quarter when it kind of got out of hand. At that point we knew, but we were out there playing for each other. It's our last moments together.
In your own words, what do you feel about how the season went?
I mean, disappointing. Didn't make the playoffs. Didn't get a shot at it. I don't know.
A lot of people think it could be Coach Garrett's last year. Any thoughts on how he's been as a coach, or if you'd like to have him back?
Love Coach Garrett. Had him since I got here. Spent 4 years with the man. It's tough. Thank you.
Zeke, how will you remember this when you look back at 2019?
Just a group of guys who love football. We love each other. Went out and play our hearts out for each other.
Elliott says this team has become his family, which is why it hurts so much that the season ends this way. However, he says he's proud of the way his teammates fought all year long. Elliott was a workhorse this year. He became just the 4th player in NFL history to surpass 7,000 scrimmage yards in his first 4 years in the league. It's reassuring for the Cowboys after signing Elliott to a 6-year contract extension at the start of the season. The Cowboys defense clicked in Sunday's win, however, it was just a little too late in the season for that. Right after this, we'll hear from the team's sack leader, Robert Quinn. Despite missing the first 2 games of the season because of a league suspension, defensive end Robert Quinn finished the year as the Cowboys' sack leader with 11.5 of them. Quinn was a nice addition this offseason to play opposite defensive end DeMarcus Lawrence. However, Quinn is one of those many free agents, so he could be one the Cowboys say goodbye to this offseason. Quinn says regardless of what happens, he enjoyed his first year as a Cowboy.
Of course, like anywhere, you have your ups and downs. But with the guys in the locker room, you try to create good memories, build a brotherhood, turn strangers into friends, friends into brothers in the locker room. That's kind of what happened. So, again, I know I enjoyed that part. Just sucks that we couldn't get it done in the win column.
11.5 sacks this year. I mean, did you play as well as you thought you would play coming into the year? What were your expectations coming into the year for you personally?
My expectations are always off the chart. If you want to be honest, I'm still disappointed at the year. That's my expectations personally. Then team-wise, of course, still disappointed. But again, as an individual, you set your bar kind of high. I set my bar kind of high. Like I always say, I just try to do my part to help this team win. Guess I need to do more.
How do you approach this offseason now? I mean, obviously, you're open. You're going to be a free agent, and you had a really good year. How do you approach this?
Really, my first time going through this, so I don't know. It's going to be interesting. Honestly, I don't know what's going to happen. Like I said, I love the guys here. Love everything, but we know the business, how it works. It's just going to, I guess, in a few weeks or whenever things get hot again, we'll figure it out.
What disappointed you most about not getting it done this season?
Well, I think we're not in the playoffs. Again, you play football to get into the playoffs, to give yourself a chance to win a Super Bowl, and we didn't do that. So, honestly, that's the most frustrating thing. You look around, we got all the talent, just whatever the case may be, we just couldn't figure it out. So.
The The Cowboys will have to wrap their heads around this season and figure out which areas need improvement. Decisions will have to be made about the head coach, the rest of the coaching staff, and the 30 free agents on this Cowboys roster. Lots of decisions up in the air. However, something that is set in stone, the Cowboys' 2020 schedule. Some of the teams they'll host next year, the 49ers, the Cardinals, the Steelers. They'll travel to play the Vikings, the Ravens, and the Seahawks, to name a few. Dallas will have the 17th pick in the 2020 draft, their highest since 2016 when they drafted running back Ezekiel Elliott 4th overall. Just like the Cowboys season is over, so is Cowboys Flashback. However, you can cover our draft and off-season coverage on all social platforms and DallasCowboys.com. Thank you for watching all year long. Until next time, I'm Dani Sureck.
Dallas Cowboys Flashback, presented by Reliant, was brought to you by AT&T. Academy, the official sporting goods retailer of the Dallas Cowboys. Reliant, an NRG company. And by NFL Game Pass. You'll never miss a game again. Enjoy full access to coaches' film and game replays from Week 1 to the Super Bowl. Subscribe at DallasCowboys.com/Game Pass.